Hi everyone, today we're going to be continuing the series here. Yesterday we took a look at what is the Democrats' best case scenario for the Senate, and this was based off a video I saw on the website 538, where they took a look if Democrats could get up to 60 seats in the US Senate. And I basically said, that's going to be quite a stretch to get to 60 seats, and I laid out the best case scenario for the Democrats in the Senate in 2020, and I believe they got to 55 or 56 seats. So not the full 60, not the whole dinner plate there, but right now we're going to be taking a look at what is the Republicans' best case scenario. So I've already colored in what I view to be the safe Republican seats that no one really doubts will stay in the GOP column, and the safe Democratic seats with New Mexico, Oregon, Illinois, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, and Delaware. And what I've also done is these 4 states, Colorado, Minnesota, Michigan, and Virginia, all of them except Colorado with Democratic incumbents who are popular, all of them except Michigan in states Hillary Clinton won, and even in a Republican best case scenario, I see these one moving to the Democratic column. So let's begin right now with a lot of seats that maybe could be competitive in the best case scenario for the Democrats, but in a Republican best case scenario they can basically put them away and say, we've got people like Alaska in the bag already. So speaking of Alaska, we could see Alaska going for the Republicans. We could see, Texas with John Cornyn moving to the GOP direction, 42 seats there. You could see, Kansas, or Kansas is maybe in a different tier, but seats like Kentucky with Mitch McConnell, in a Republican best case scenario, they can put that one away and say, got Kentucky in the bag, we can focus on some other states, right? You've got states like South Carolina with Jamie Harrison. That one, in a Republican best case scenario, they can say, Lindsey Graham's probably going to win that one anyway. So right now they're at 44 seats to the Democrats' 47. And the next tier is some of these Democratic seats, and there actually is only one. Democratic seats that in a Republican best case scenario they're going to win, and that obviously is the state of Alabama. So this one, in a Republican best case scenario, we see this one likely to move over into the Republican situation there, along with, I forgot to mention, along with the state of Kansas as well. So Kansas moving into the Republican column. So now we're at 46, and the remaining seats we can classify into 2 groups. The first group is sort of pure toss-ups, right? And these, or maybe they slightly lean Republican, right? So these are Montana, these are Iowa, Georgia, and the Georgia special election. And then the other tier are seats that, they're toss-ups, but maybe I would slightly lean them Democratic. So those are Arizona, especially, North Carolina, and the state of Maine. And in a Republican best case scenario, we're going to go over and give them Montana with the incumbent there, red state. They're probably, in a Republican best case scenario, they're going to be fine in Montana. In Iowa, right now looking close, possibly Democratic leaning, but in the GOP best case scenario, we're going to be generous. We're going to give Iowa over to them. In Georgia, we're going to give them Georgia there. That gets them to 49 seats, and the Georgia special election, that gets them to 50. So if Trump wins, in the unlikely situation he does, they would get the Senate right now with 50 seats. But we're still looking at Maine, North Carolina, and Arizona. And these are the 3 that I'm really sort of stuck on, especially Arizona and North Carolina, because the polls right now are really strong for the Democrats. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these polls that, have just come out recently. So added yesterday, just yesterday, we got 2 polls here. In Marist College A+ poll, Mark Kelly is a +12 favorite in the state of Arizona, and in the CNN SSRS, he's a +7, +9, +7, +7, plus the 9. So it does seem that he's sort of maybe not in double digits like this Marist polls might suggest, but he's sort of in that, 7%, 8% range. That, I mean, 100 days out is pretty good for a potential situation there. So that's the state of Arizona. Moving on to the next state, the state of Maine. Where's the state of Maine? There. The state of Maine, I mean, the polling has been a bit up and down recently. That's from 2018. But if you take a look at the two most recent polls, Gideon is a +4 and a +5. And it does seem Susan Collins is running as the underdog right now. But I mean, there is a +8 poll here, so it's sort of really Maine's gonna be what I see as a really sort of a pure toss-up state. So in the Republicans' best case scenario, we're gonna go ahead and give them the state of Maine. Now the next two, Arizona, we took a look at, and the state of North Carolina. North Carolina looks really bad for the Republicans right now. There was a new poll that just came up. A+, Marist College, Cunningham is a +9 in the state of North Carolina. +8 in the PPP poll. That's actually leaning Democratic pollster. +1, +3, +7. So it's sort of +8, +10. So it doesn't look that good right now for the Republican. The last time Tom Tillis led a poll, it was only by +1, and it was in June, which is quite a long time ago, given there's been many polls here coming out showing Cunningham leading. So in the best case scenario for the Republicans, I know this isn't the best ending, but I'm really going to say that these two are just pure toss-ups. The polling right now shows the Democrat leaning by 7%, 8%. So in the Republican best case scenario, can they make up 7% or 8% of the vote? I mean, maybe they could. It's going to be tough for them though. So if I had to choose in the Republican best case scenario, just because of that incumbency advantage, I would probably tilt them ever so slightly in the Republican direction. But I mean, effectively, they're pure toss-ups, less than 1% in a GOP best case scenario for the Republicans. So that's it for today's video, guys. 53-47 for the Republicans, same balance of power. The Republicans pick up the state of Alabama, the Democrats pick up the state of Colorado, and sort of a wash. So it's the exact same thing as before. That's the best case for the Republicans right now. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Good night.